सारी दुनिया है लॉकडाउन में, कोरोना है सबका रोना। डरने वाली बात नहीं है, सावधानी हमको रखनी है। 1 मीटर की दूरी से ही बात है हम सबको करनी है। बच्चों आओ पढ़ो सभी, कोरोना से डरो नहीं। बच्चों आओ पढ़ो सभी, कोरोना से डरो नहीं। पढ़ना लिखना है सबको, आगे बढ़ना है सबको।
Hello students, I am Talat Rana and today I am here to teach you the topic direct and indirect speech. This is the first chapter of your English grammar book. Children, in English language, there are two ways of conveying what someone else has said. One is direct speech and the other is indirect speech. Now let's see what is direct speech. Children, direct and indirect speech are the two types, and as the word suggests, direct means directly. So, it involves quoting the exact words uttered by the person within inverted commas or question marks. You can see the example over here. Anne said, "I will be coming home tonight." Now, in this sentence, I will be coming home tonight is in inverted commas, and this denotes that they are the actual words of Anne. When we report the actual words spoken by keeping it in the inverted commas, that speech is called direct speech. On the other hand, indirect speech, it does not have to be within quotes or reported word to word. In fact, unless one is relaying the exact words spoken, one should never use quotation marks. That means, in indirect speech, the reporter conveys the sentence in his or her own words, but the meaning of the sentence is not changed. So, these are the two speeches, direct and indirect speech. In our syllabus, there is direct and indirect speech where we have to change an indirect statement into direct statement or a direct statement into indirect statement. Now, the direct speech statement has two parts. What are they? Let's see. The example here is, he said, "I work in a factory." Now here you can see the sentence has two parts. Few words are here before comma and few words are here after comma. The words before comma, especially the reporting verb here, that needs to be noted down while changing the direct speech statement into indirect speech statement. So, children, this verb which is in the first part of direct speech before the statement of a person is called reporting verb. The other part which is after comma and within inverted commas, this is called reported speech. Children, they are the exact spoken words and they are called reported speech. They are always enclosed in quotation marks. So, whenever there is a sentence of direct speech and it comes for changing it into indirect speech, we have to identify both these parts, the reporting verb part and the reported speech part. Why have I told you this thing? Because the changes are to be done in both these parts. Now first I would talk about the change that we have to make in the reporting verb part. Now children, very first thing that you need to remember is the tense of the reporting verb is never changed. That means the verb should be copied in the same tense. For example, if the reporting verb is in past tense, that is said. Said is a past tense word. If it is in past tense, it will not change and it will remain as it is in the indirect speech statement also. Children, one thing has to be noted down over here, that if there is an object after the reporting verb and the word in between is said to, then this said to, it becomes told. So, what you need to remember? When there is just a subject of reporting verb, the reporting verb said will remain said. And if there is an object after the reporting verb and the reporting verb is said to, it will change to told. For example, Anthony said, I eat a mango. The reporting verb is said and it will remain the same. The sentence will be, Anthony said that he ate a mango. If the sentence is the teacher said to the students, your exam will start soon, since the reporting verb is said to and there is an object after that, it will change to told. Okay, one more thing to remember is, if the reporting verb, it is in present tense, supposingly say or says, it does not change. In the same way, if the reporting verb is in future tense, which is will say, it also does not change. So, what is to be understood? That the reporting verb, if it is in past tense, only then the tense of the reported speech changes. And if the reporting verb is in present tense and future tense, there is no change in the reporting verb also, and the reported speech part also, the tense change in that will not be there. See, for example, Anthony says, I eat a mango. It will remain as it is. Anthony says that he eats a mango. The teacher will say, your exam will start soon. This is in future tense, so therefore no change in the indirect speech also. Now this was all about the changes in the reporting verb. Children, I have told you the other part of the direct speech statement, that is within the inverted commas. That is reported speech. Now let's take a look what changes we are going to make in the reported speech part of the sentence. While reporting, we are usually talking about the past. Therefore, verbs usually change to the past tense in the reported speech. For example, Am and is becomes was. Are becomes were. Have, has becomes had. Can or can't becomes could or couldn't. Will and won't becomes would or wouldn't. So, this is how we do the changes. To understand it more deeply, let's look at the table of tense changes. Look here, children. This is the table which shows the changes in tense in indirect speech. Simple present tense becomes simple past tense. Present continuous tense becomes past continuous tense. Present perfect becomes past perfect. And present perfect continuous becomes past perfect continuous. Now, what you need to remember is and see is that all the present here is changing to past. And all the past, simple past, past continuous is changing to past perfect. Simple future will has changed into would. Future continuous will be becomes would be. And future perfect will have will become would have. So, what is the basic thing that we need to understand? That the present becomes past and the past becomes past perfect. Now, other words in the reported speech also needs to be changed. Not all the words, few. So, the adverb words. If there is an adverb word in the direct speech statement, even that needs to be changed. This is the table, children. You have to learn this table to remember the changes that you have to make. Today becomes that day. Tomorrow, the next day. Yesterday becomes the day before or the previous day. Next week, the following week, last week, the previous week, now or just will become then, ago will become before, here will become there, this will become that. There are few others which we will be learning while we will be doing practice sentences. So, till now, the tense of the reported speech and the adverb part. These are the two parts that we have recognized that needs to be changed. There is one more part, that is pronouns. Children, the pronoun words of the reported speech, they are also changed. Now, what is the formula for changing that? Let's look here. I have found one very easy formula for you, which if you remember, changing of pronoun will not be a difficult part for you. Always remember, if the pronoun in the reported speech is in first person, it will take the subject of the reporting verb. If it is in second person, it will take the object of the reporting verb. And if it is in third person, then there will be no change. The examples now will make it more clear to you. See, the sentence is, I said, I want to consult my parents. Now, children, in this sentence, the pronoun here is in first person. And when the pronoun is in first person, it will take the subject of the reporting verb, that is I. Therefore, it will become, I said that I wanted to consult my parents. Take another example. You said, I want to consult my parents. Now, here again the subject is in first person. It will take the subject of the reporting verb, which is you. Therefore, the sentence will be written as, you said that you wanted to consult your parents. See, both these, they were in first person. They are changed according to the subject. The subject here is you, therefore you over here and you're over here. The next example, she said, I want to consult my parents. Now again, the subject here is in first person. It will correspond to the subject of the reporting verb, which is she. So therefore, the sentence will come out as she said that she wanted to consult her parents. I am sure this is clear to you. Let's see the other rule. When the subject of the reported speech is in second person, you can see here your is the second person pronoun. When it is in second person, it will take the object of the reporting verb. And reporting verb, object is in first person. So, the sentence will become, earlier it was Anil said to me, your parents are waiting for you. Now, when you change it into indirect speech, it will become Anil told me that my parents were waiting for me. You can see the change in the pronoun. Now, let's look at the second sentence. Anil said to you, your parents are waiting for you. Now, here the pronoun used in the reported speech is in second person, and this pronoun, since it is in second person, it will change according to the object of the reporting verb. The object of the reporting verb is you. So, the sentence will now become, Anil told you that your parents were waiting for you. Let's take another example. Anil said to him, your parents are waiting for you. Again, the pronoun over here is in second person and it will take the pronoun of the object of the reporting verb, which is him. So, the sentence will be, Anil told him that his parents were waiting for him. So, students, I am sure that these many changes that we have discussed till now is clear to all of you. The changes in pronoun, the changes in adverbs and the changes in tenses. Now, one more thing we need to remember is that there are 4 kinds of sentences. Which are they? The sentences are of 4 kinds: assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence and exclamatory sentence. So, students, while doing the changes, we should also be identifying the types of sentences, because there are few specific rules for the specific kinds of sentences. Let's understand. So, students, if the pronoun is in third person, what we have learnt just now, that there won't be any change. Let's look here at the example. I said to you, he should be trusted. Now, as soon as we see that the pronoun over here, it is in third person, then we should remember that no change will be done in the pronoun and it will be copied as it is. I said to you, he should be trusted will become, I told you that he should be trusted. The only changes will be in the rest of the parts, but the pronoun will be copied as it is. One more example, she said she is looking for a job. Again, in this sentence, the pronoun here is in third person and the third person pronouns don't change in the indirect speech statements also. So, the sentence will become, she said that she was looking for a job. So students, till now we have learnt about all the changes that we will be doing in the pronouns, in the adverbs and in the tenses. One more thing we need to remember is that the sentences are of 4 types: assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentences and exclamatory sentences. So, while doing the changes from a direct to speech statement into an indirect speech statement, we must also identify the types of sentence and we must do the changes accordingly. Let's see how. When the sentence is an interrogative sentence, you all know that the interrogative sentence can be of 2 types. First type, which can be answered in yes or no. Generally, these kind of questions, they start with the help of a helping verb. Can you please bring a glass of water for me? So, this kind of sentence which starts with the helping verb, they are answered in yes or no. And the other kind is that which start with the question word and they need a little bit of explanation and cannot be answered in yes or no. So, when we have identified the type of interrogative sentence, then we must keep in mind the rules that we are going to study. First of all, whichever type, the first one or the second one, the reporting verb will change to asked or inquired because it is a question. Then, in the yes or no question, the conjunction that is used is if or whether. You use the conjunction if or whether to join the reporting verb part with the reported speech part. In WH questions, the same word, that is the word with which the question is starting, it can be any of these, can be used as a conjunction. Supposingly, the sentence is, she said, why are you so quiet? So, the indirect speech sentence will become, she asked why she was so quiet. The same word, the question word over here will be taken as the conjunction word. And one more thing you need to remember, the question mark, it is replaced with a full stop. So, students, this is for the interrogative type of sentence. Now, the other kind of sentence is imperative sentence. Now, what are imperative sentences? Imperative sentences are those which expresses command, request, advice or suggestion. For example, open the door, please help me, learn your lessons. These are the sentences which are called imperative sentence. And such sentences, when they are changed into direct speech, the word ordered, advised, requested, suggested, forbade or not to do is used instead of the given reporting verb. Now, how do you identify which of these is to be used? By looking at the nature of the sentence. See, he said to me, please help me. Now, here it's a kind of a request. So, the reporting verb will become, he requested me to help him. She said to him, you should work hard for the exam. It will become, she suggested him to work hard for the exam. They said to him, do not tell a lie. Again, it's a kind of an advice. So, the reporting verb will become, they advised him not to tell a lie. He said, open the door. Now, this is a command or an order. So, the reporting verb will become, he ordered to open the door. So, this was about imperative sentences. Now, the fourth kind of sentence is exclamatory sentence. Children, what are exclamatory sentences? Exclamatory sentences are those which expresses a state of joy or sorrow or wonder. For example, hurrah, we won the match. Alas, I failed in the test. Wow, what a nice shirt it is. All these sentences are giving sudden expression to the feeling, and therefore they are called exclamatory sentences. When an exclamatory sentence comes before you to change into the indirect speech, what you do? Again, according to the nature of the sentence, you change the reporting verb. The reporting verbs will become exclaimed with joy, exclaimed with sorrow, exclaimed with wonder. For example, he said, hurrah, I won a prize. Now, in this sentence, there is a state of joy, and therefore, the sentence reporting verb will be he exclaimed with joy that he had won a prize. She said, alas, I failed in the exam. Here, the expression is of sorrow. So, the reporting verb will be she exclaimed with sorrow that she failed in the exam. John said, wow, what a nice shirt it is. The word wow shows wonder, the surprise element, and therefore the sentence will become John exclaimed with wonder that it was a nice shirt. So, children, these were the important points that you need to keep in your mind while doing your exercise of direct speech and indirect speech. And for further online practice, you can always refer to Diksha, the digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing mobile app from your mobile. And you can also download Diksha mobile application through Play Store or iOS. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel of Uttar Pradesh Madhyamik Shiksha Vibhag. You can directly solve your queries from your teachers through e-learning or virtual classes. Thank you.